You got my back? I got your back. You got my back? I got your back. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, this is Tony Mitchell coming to you with our second podcast, Championship Mindset Conversations, Championship Mindset Conversations. I got a special guest with me, podcast number 2, Treyvon Hester. Treyvon Hester is a graduate of Penn Hills High School and Toledo University. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Raiders. Treyvon is a special young man because I know some of the things he had to deal with to get to this point in his life, but he always had championship mindset. He didn't know he had it, but he had it. You know, and I want to talk to Treyvon a little bit about some of the things that helped him grow as an individual and when he first found his love for football.
So, to be honest, my dad was the real reason why, I had started playing. He instilled the toughness and the football mentality into us at an early age.
How many brothers you got now?
I'm the second to the oldest out of 11.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a real big family.
Yes.
I say 5 brothers,
okay.
6 sisters.
Okay.
So definitely a real big family. 1 older brother and 1 younger brother that's right around the same age as me.
Okay.
So, we all grew up. We was the first 3. We all grew up like, that tight-knit group,
There was competition within the house.
Within the house, that's where competition first started. It's like, no, I got this older brother, but he ain't about to beat me in everything. No. And then I can't let little bro beat me in this because I know he licking his chops too, So definitely, man, we used to wrestle in the house. We used to race. We used to play flag football. We used to do it the whole 9. And
so your competitive spirit really came from your parents and your childhood and your family. So you knew you had to be competitive just to survive.
Just to survive, that was the nature of the beast. It was like you got to be ready to compete against anybody because, some people might be better than you naturally, and if you don't work at it or if your work ethic ain't compared to where theirs at or better, then there's no way that you're gonna ever be better than them.
Absolutely.
Get right.
Absolutely. One of the things I want to talk to you about that you just touched on is work ethic. When we talk about championship mindset, we talk about having acceptance, talking about having courage, talking about acceptance and courage leading to wisdom. You had to accept where you were born, Wilkinsburg. Wasn't the greatest place, wasn't the worst place. Tough streets, tough environment, got to make daily choices on what direction you're going to go in. Tell me a little bit about your elementary school experience in Wilkinsburg.
Well, first and foremost, man, I got nothing but love for Wilkinsburg, man. That's the hood. That's where I grew up. That's what molded me into the man that I am today. That's what gave me this tough skin. That's what gave me that hardcore shell. But it also gave me the love that I got inside of my heart. I started going to school at Kelly Elementary.
Okay.
So it was tough, man. Like I said, I had brothers and stuff like that, so I never really had to worry about, getting picked on or anything. But, growing up in the hood, you got to be ready to, put your fist up, fight for whatever.
Exactly.
Can't like disrespect was never tolerated, and there was no way that, you was ever going to let somebody show your weakness.
Exactly.
So you had to be strong every day going to school.
See, I know what Treyvon's talking about because I grew up in Homewood, right next to Wilkinsburg, but I took a job as the head football coach in Wilkinsburg, head football and head track. So I spent a lot of time in Wilkinsburg. Kelly, Johnston, Turner, the middle school. So I understand how it was going down. And I respect the fact that you came from where you came from, but you never lost sight of what your goals were. We talk about life being a blank canvas and everybody getting a set of paintbrushes being able to paint their own masterpiece. Trey now knows, after spending 3 years of professional football, that he can paint his own masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about life at Penn Hills High School when you got there as a sophomore.
Well, Penn Hills is just that's the school that gave me the chance. You know, they gave me that second opportunity to be able to play the sport that I love. You know, they allowed me to really hone in on my skills and really, you know, start to figure out what I wanted to be in life. You know, because coming from where I came from, you know, it's easy to just choose the easy route and just become
A hustler.
a hustler or a street guy and just sell whatever you want to sell. That's the easy route, and that's what I tell my guys all the time. Like, if you want to go that route, like, you basically just giving up on yourself already. So Penn Hills, you know, they gave me that opportunity, and starting out, you know, it was rough because, you know, I ain't had the grades and had to sit out and watch guys play, and I knew I was better than a lot of guys. So
Right.
it was like, man, like, I need to get back out there. So them, you know, telling me that, you know what I'm saying, I can't play these first 4 games because I'm academically ineligible. It was like, man, I ain't never going through this again.
Absolutely.
You know?
Tell me about that senior class, man, when you were a sophomore. Tell me about the senior class at Penn Hills.
Oh man, we had great guys there. We got Aaron Donald, who's gonna be a Hall of Famer real soon. Brandon Eiffel, Colin Christian, man, C. Wash, yeah, a lot of big old linemen, man. Like that, like competition was in Penn Hills. You know, it was something that you had to be ready to work to be able to play there. You know, because there was a lot of athletes that was around there that was ready to work and that wanted to be great in life.
Now, the thing that I remember, and we talked about this before we got on air a little bit, I was an assistant coach at Gateway. So Gateway and Penn Hills, man, you talk about rivals. Man, you talk about, you know, bragging rights. Look, for folks that don't know anything about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gateway is in Monroeville. Penn Hills is maybe a half a block, the boundary line from Monroeville. So you start talking about summer picnics. The Penn Hills picnic is this thing. Nobody's trying to go to the Gateway picnic. Everybody's trying to go to the Penn Hills picnic. I was at Wilkinsburg coaching, and Wilkinsburg wanted to go to the Penn Hills picnic. You know, so we talking just straight rivals. You know, so I coached at Monroeville Gateway, and Terry Smith was the head coach. And I remember seeing this big fella on film, and man, this dude was wrecking stuff. So we trying to figure out, you know, how we gonna block 55. You know, so I remember your athleticism. I remember you were a person that you couldn't do the same thing twice to because you were smart, right? So we couldn't just double team you all the time. We had to trap you a little bit. We had to try to do different stuff because you was just, you know, you was that kind of dude. Tell me how you've grown from that point in your understanding of how to play D-tackle.
Well, I grew a lot because coming into Penn Hills, you know, I never even had my hand in the dirt.
Okay.
You know, playing at Wilkinsburg, I really was a skill guy. I was like a fullback / running back. So, you know, that's where my athleticism really comes from, from being that, from carrying the ball at the earlier stages in my life. So when I got to Penn Hills, you know, I put on a lot of weight, and just from sitting out and not doing anything. So when I got there, they like, man, like, you a D-tackle. Like, we're going to have to throw you on O-line. You got to block some guys, you know? And, I mean, the aggression was always there, you know, coming from Wilkinsburg, you know what I mean? You got to be aggressive regardless. So my athleticism is what really helped me through high school. You know, that's what got me over that hump, you know, to be able to beat guys who were probably less, you know, athletes than me or not, you know, mentally stable like how I was, you know. So now, you know, I mean, I know the game a lot more. I know the position a lot more. You know, I know.
You playing with Fletcher, Cox? Who else is on your team?
Brandon Graham. I got to play with Haloti Nada
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
Mike Bennett,
Uh-huh.
man.
Chris Long was there too.
Yeah,
Right?
see, Long was there. And even before that, when I was in Oakland, I got to play with K. Mack and Bruce Irvin and Justin Ellis. You know, a lot of guys who, you know, understand the game and who are, you know, all pro football players. You know, so just being able to pick their brains from the jump, that helped me out a lot. You know, because I mean, you never know everything out here in life. You know, you always got to be willing to learn something new. You always got to be willing to learn a new technique and just take notes. But sometimes you just got to sit back and take notes.
Now tell me this, man. We talked a little bit off here about championship mindset and the concept of the fishbowl mindset. Everybody lives in the fishbowl, whether you're in Peters Township, whether you're in Seneca Valley, whether you're in Homewood, Wilkinsburg, there's a fishbowl in that community. You got to have the courage to step out of that fishbowl and swim in the ocean with the big fish. Tell me at what point you realized that you were ready to get out of the fishbowl and swim with the big fish. At what point in your life did you realize that?
I realized that when I committed to Toledo.
Okay.
So a quick little background story on that. I had went on a visit to Toledo.
Okay.
The week before I had committed, and I loved it. You
Okay.
know, it was a nice area. You know, it was a little away from home. So
about,
it was
about 4 hours.
So you know, it's a nice little distance. And I had a couple guys from my team that went up there with me. You know, Chaz Whitaker and Ward Jones.
Yes.
You know, so we all took that visit together, and we all loved it. And the funny thing is, the day we was leaving, you know, you go talk to the head coach, and the head coach, you know, tells you, you know, what he likes about you and all that, and then he's trying to see if you know, you're gonna commit.
Yeah.
So I was the first one to go, and I didn't commit.
Okay.
I told the coach, I'm like, man, well, you know, I gotta visit the pit this weekend, so I want to see what they talking about. You know, I want to see what they gonna do.
Yes.
And so as I'm leaving out, you know, I see C. Jones and I see C. Witt. They coming down. They laughing. Yeah, they like, look, man, we didn't already signed that paper. So you know, the coach is looking at me like, what you doing, big guy? Like you don't want to come with your guys? So I'm like, oh man. So you know, the weekend comes and Friday comes. You know. I don't get no call from Pitt. Saturday comes, you know, I don't get no call.
Okay.
You know, because I'm thinking like they're supposed to let me know,
right.
You know, where I gotta come to.
And your boy's down there.
Yeah. You know, he's killing already. You know, so I know they probably had it set up to where I would be with him and you know have all that.
Exactly.
So Sunday comes around and I'm like, man, I ain't get no call from these guys. This is crazy. And so I'm just on the internet, just searching the web a little bit, just looking at high school prospects, just you know, little stuff that we used to do growing up. I seen one article that said like Treyvon Hester is now down here at the Pitt campus, and he's at the Villanova versus Pitt game right now.
And you weren't even there.
I was at the house. I'm at the house chilling. I'm like, hold on, I'm reading this on the computer at the house. So I'm like, man, these people, they crazy.
They tripping.
Yeah. So, you know, I go to school the next day, and, you know what I'm saying, by the time I had got out that bus after school, man, I had called the coaches and was letting them know, like, man, I'm ready to be a Rocket.
There you go.
And by that time, you know, I realized, like, it's time for me to leave the city. It's time for me to, you know, spread my wings and
get out of the fishbowl.
Yeah, make my name somewhere else.
Sounds good. We do everything in segments and Championship Mindset Podcast. We're going to wrap up this first segment. We'll get right back with you in a minute. Okay, we are back for segment number 2, Championship Mindset, Conversations on the Road to Greatness. My main man, Treyvon Hester, is still here with me. It's a blessing to have this young man here. We want to start off with segment number 2, talking about his days at Toledo and when he realized that he had a legitimate shot at going to the NFL, how his mindset changed, and just the thought process and things he did to prepare himself for the NFL.
So first of all, just being able to get the opportunity to play D1 football, that was, that was a dream come true in itself. Because a lot of guys coming from where we come from don't even get the opportunity to make it out of high school. I know a lot of guys that I grew up with ain't even make it to C16,
right,
or was incarcerated before they turned 18. So
that's real.
by the time I was graduating high school, I can count on both of my hands how many guys I done lost or was incarcerated. So being able to get that scholarship and them telling me that I'm gonna get a full ride, college paid for, that was a blessing right there. That was something that sparked everything to let me know that I'm on a good path.
Yes.
I'm going down a real good path. So,
yes.
Coming in Toledo, like I said, I had started behind the 8 ball coming out of Penn Hill, so I had the gray shirt my first year at Toledo. So me having to pay for, I had to pay for my first 2 semesters at Toledo. So and that was tough, because by that time, my dad was already incarcerated. He was fighting a trial and doing what he had to do. So money was
tight.
Real tight. So there was a lot of stuff that I had to go through that first year that showed me that, like, if you really want to get to where you want to go, adversity is gonna come.
Absolutely.
So it was not even 2 weeks into my freshman year at Toledo, around my birthday, September 21st, that I had got a letter on my door telling me that I had insufficient funds. I couldn't pay. Money ain't clearing through. We need to figure out a way to pay this money. So we're gonna have to kick you out of these dorm rooms. You can't stay here. You can't stay on campus. So I'm going to the coaches and asking them, like, hey man, what am I gonna do? What could I do? And luckily, like I said, I had 2 other guys that was
there.
From Penn Hill that was up there already. So like what I did, I actually was, had got a little cot and put that joint right on the floor, and for the last for them next 6 to 7 months,
you was right there.
I was traveling right on the floor with them boys, man. I wasn't going anywhere, and
taught you a lot about who you were.
Yeah,
taught you a lot about those dudes having your back.
Yes, sir. It humbled me. It humbled me a lot, because it showed me that you could be on top of the world and lose everything the next day.
You know what we talk about, man? We talk about the outhouse and the penthouse.
Yeah.
The distance between the outhouse and the penthouse is closer than anybody wants to ever admit.
Yes, sir.
One day you in the penthouse, you make a bad choice or some things happen, man, you in the outhouse.
Right.
I tell people, if you want to know how close it is, stick your head out the window of the penthouse, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Oh, you can smell that stuff right down the road.
Yes, sir.
It keeps you focused, man.
Yes, sir.
It keeps you focused. So at that point, you knew that you were hungry enough to do what you needed to do to get ready, not just to play D1 football, but to take it to the next level. That hunger was there.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about your first year actually playing at Toledo.
So, I got put on scholarship. I got put on scholarship after I got done, with my fall semester.
Okay.
My spring semester, I mean. So
gray shirt was done. You was getting on scholarship.
That summer of my red shirt freshman year, I'm working out. I'm going hard. Everything's starting to look real good. I used to keep in contact. My days keep in contact with me every day. Call in, try and see how I'm doing, what it's looking like. And I remember one day vividly. It was I want to say it was like May.
Okay.
So May, the schedule came out for our season.
Okay.
And I'm telling my pops, I'm like, hey man, we got Florida game 1, man. We got University of Florida game 1.
There you go.
So I'm like, look, that's where we at with it. You know, that's where we going. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, man, I could hear it in his voice how excited he was. You know, he was jumping out the gym. You know, it was like, you know what I'm saying, if he could have freed himself, he would have freed himself that day. You know. So that right there was something big, and so you know, I'm working on it. I'm working towards it, and you know, before I could even get to that first game, my pops, it eventually passed away.
Okay.
You know, and,
I remember.
And that was hard on me. You know.
Absolutely.
It honestly, that right there is what really, re-sparked the flame inside of me. You know, because I could have easily just packed it up and just came back home.
But you knew about his legacy living on through you. You also knew how much love he had for the game of football and how much love he had for you. So I can get down with that because I lost my mom at a young age.
Yeah.
And it becomes this sense of motivation. You start to live to prove them right.
Yeah. And that was the mindset. Like, I'm going to prove them right. And one thing I remember telling him was, I'm going to graduate college, man. I'm going to get that degree if I don't do anything else. Even if I don't play in that league, I'm going to get that degree for you.
There you go.
You know, and coming into that freshman year, I had a good season. You know, I had a couple sacks. I ended up getting a sack first game against Florida.
There you go.
And, we hit the road running, man.
And you realize that football is football.
Yes, sir.
You realize that when you carried the ball for Wilkinsburg to the point you put your hand in the dirt at Toledo, it was still football.
Still football.
You know, and you had that love for that game.
Yep.
You know, and I tell people all the time, championship mindset, we got a couple different levels. We talk about passion, purpose, and pride. You always had that.
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't got no passion, you can't be great at what you're trying to do. You know, you had passion, you knew what your purpose was.
Yeah.
And you always had pride from day one. You know, so when I asked you to be on this podcast, I knew that you had championship mindset because I followed you for years. And the thing that always stood out to me watching you do your thing was that passion. You know, you could hear 55 out there.
Yeah.
You know, and when you guys played at Toledo, you could hear 91 out there.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's like that is what championship mindset is all about.
Right.
Tell me about your junior year at Toledo, and you're getting close to the end of one chapter, but you know the next chapter is pro football. Tell me what you started to do in preparation for knowing you could get drafted, knowing you needed representation. How did you go about those different things?
So, coming into my junior year, that was a big year for me, because I had two good solid seasons, at Toledo. So, I was starting to really make a good name for myself, and it was starting to look up.
Okay, so Trey, we've had a successful podcast from the standpoint of hearing your background, understanding what championship mindset means to you, understanding about the adversity that you had to go through, some of the losses that you had to endure. Tell me in your own words what type of motivation you have going into this second season with the Eagles. What's your motivation and what are your goals?
So my motivation is honestly, to be a part of a championship team. We got to the second round of the playoffs last year, and that was the farthest I've been since I've been in the league. So, I want to be able to play in a championship. I haven't reached a championship since I played in Wilkinsburg. So I'm hungry. I'm starving. And I need it. I need to feel like what it felt like to be a winner again. So that's definitely a mindset, and a goal is to just be a beast every day. To get better every day. I ain't set like no statistic goals yet, you know, on how many numbers I want and stuff like that. But I know I'm gonna set the bar high. I'm gonna set the bar as high as possible because, you know, I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I can accomplish. And now I'm a lot more comfortable.
You know you belong.
Yeah.
You ain't no guest no more.
So, you know, I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I could accomplish out here. So, it's up from here.
Man, Trey, I wanna thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy dude. You got to get ready. When do you guys report, man?
We actually report July 24th.
July 24th. Wow. Okay, so that's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
You know, so the training, the physical training, the mental training, the spiritual training, it's all coming together for you. And like we always say at Championship Mindset, man, acceptance, courage, and wisdom, no fear, no excuses, embrace the process. We got shirts, and you got a shirt right there. On the back of that shirt, it says, pain is temporary, but greatness is forever. You're going to go through some things. You already know that because you went through things. But if it don't kill you, it just makes you stronger. Be great, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, be great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming in, brother.
Thank you for having me.
All
I
right,
appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
You got my back. I got your back.